Welcome to the Blinded Truth Shot podcast, where real stories meet real healing. We are your hosts, Destinnee Vance, and co-host.
Eric
You always say your first name.
Eric Foster.
Today's episode is titled, Do You Believe in Miracles? When people hear the word miracle, they often think about something big, dramatic, or impossible. Something that happens once in a lifetime. But what if miracles are happening around us more than we realize? Sometimes the miracle is the fact that you made it through something that should have broken you a long time ago. Sometimes the miracle is surviving a season you never thought you'd get through. Sometimes the miracle is still being here when life could have easily gone another way. Many of us are walking miracles and don't even recognize it because we're so focused on the struggle we went through to get here. Today, we are talking about the miracles we overlook, the moments that saved us, and the truth that sometimes the miracle isn't the moment itself. It's the fact that you're still standing after it. This episode is powered by Destiny is by Choice Support Services because your journey, your voice, and your truth matter. So again, this is another episode that you titled. I guess you got some things you want to talk about.
We'll see. I guess how it goes. But before we get started, how you been?
I've been okay.
That's not kind of.
You know what I got going on? I got school, life, kids, job.
But guess what though?
What?
You're a miracle.
I know.
Hey, see how I tied that in there?
So anyway,
What you talking about?
so you were saying that sometimes life, we are all miracles and we don't realize it, right? And in life, we all experience miracles. So, what was your miracle or miracles that brought this conversation up?
I don't believe that. I mean, it could have been, but it wasn't a miracle that brought that. It was a when the light bulb goes off moment. And I was asked to come up with a topic, and as soon as I was asked, I had to go downstairs to get something, and it hit me.
Mm-hmm.
So I let it inform you what it was about, and then you come up with this elaborate intro that I don't never know what it is, so it kind of catches me off guard every time. So when they're listening for the first time, I'm listening for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm over here like, but it's very much so true that we can't recognize the miracles that be in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
And just me and you sitting here being able to do this is a miracle in itself. Because again, 3 years ago I was in a trap house getting high.
Mm-hmm.
So that ain't a miracle. I don't know what is.
Yeah. Yeah, I could say there's been a lot of things that definitely could have took me out, like I don't think a lot of people know that I suffer from an illness, a chronic illness. And so every day is a fight for my life. But I could remember going through, my kids were young. They were 3 and 4 at the time. But like going through chemotherapy and wanting to take my life several different times. There was times that I was like in the moment of taking a bunch of pills, and my oldest will walk in the room and want a snack. And I know for some people they probably like, oh, that's funny. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it would like totally distract. It would kind of like snap me out of it. Like you said, like snap you out of it. Or that light bulb, like, and like this is not what it is. This is
Right.
not what it should have been. Or like I can remember doing prison time as a 60-year-old being charged as an adult because
So you was getting juvenile life. That's 5 years.
I was being tried as an adult.
Oh, you agree to go to the big house.
Yeah. And it was for something I didn't even do.
That's what they all say.
I'm dead serious.
Hey.
You know what? It was for something I didn't even do.
But guess what though?
It
check this out.
It snapped me back into reality of
Every
like
time I got locked up, it was because of something I did.
no. Ask my mama. She was. She had saw the evidence. The lawyer had set me down. And I was like, look. First of all, I was being tried for two things. Hold on. I was being tried for two things because the first couple charges, they couldn't. I was supposed to been and went to court on, but at the time, me and my mom and us, we were homeless, so we didn't have an address. So when I got in trouble for this, they just lumped it all together. And so when I went to go see my lawyer, she was looking at like everything I had went through, and she was like, "So tell me what happened." And I was like, "I don't know what happened." I was like, "On this charge, I know what happened. I did push the teacher. I ain't gonna lie about that. I did assault the teacher. But on this charge, I ain't do that." And I was sitting there scared because I was like, I know for a fact I didn't do this.
Okay, so what is the miracle inside of there?
The miracle was, so let me tell you a little bit what happened.
Oh my, here we go.
I was working at FYE and it was in the mall, whatever. Anyway, they were trying to say that I was stealing track phone card. But the way I was trained was how everybody that ended up going to court was trained how to do it. And our store manager ended up leaving. I think she was getting high, but she ended up leaving. We got a new store manager. So all of a sudden I'm working and I get this phone call from the AP person, asset protection, and they bring me to the back and they're like asking me all these questions like, how do I process? And I'm like, this is how I process it. Well, he begins to say like, I know you were stealing them. I said, how am I stealing track phone cards when this is the way? I didn't even have a track phone. I had Intellos. So why was I stealing track phone cards? It didn't make sense. So come to find out, when I went to my lawyer's office, she was like, tell me exactly how you was trained. It was exactly how I told her exactly how I was trained. And she was like, well, the Commonwealth attorney wants to try you as an adult. And I was like, I ain't even do that. And so come to find, she had got her like investigator to kind of like investigate. They had no cameras, but the same way I was being trained, it was me and a couple other people saying like, this is how we were trained. So she sent somebody in. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be telling it. She sent somebody in to order get one. And that person, before they had made them start going to court or whatever, they did the exact same thing. And so she was kind of like, y'all have no cameras. You got several people that's being tried for the same charges of theft, and they was trained the exact same way. The person that trained them is nowhere to be found. Are you kidding me right now? And so literally they was painting this picture of, this is why she needs to be locked up. And I was just sitting there like, so this is what it comes to. I had just got out of alternative school. I just started back going to regular school. I had, all of my tests, my drug test was coming back, negative. I was doing great. I was on the road of redemption. And this pops up. And all of a sudden, the judge says, I'm dismissing these charges. He was like, but what I am going to make you do is apologize to the teacher. So I had to write a letter saying I apologize. She wanted to sue us and all this stuff because she said she hurt me, but she shouldn't have stepped in front. That's a whole different story. But the miracle was everything got dismissed. Because they was painting a pretty picture of, this is why she should be locked up right now.
This probably should be a short for you right now.
It probably should.
Yeah, because you killed 10 minutes.
Oh, whatever.
I mean, what can we say in 5? I'm keeping it real with you.
Keep it real.
You killed.
You asked me what my miracle was. That was my miracle.
Yeah, buddy.
My miracle was, it really, that honed it in for me that I ain't had time to play.
I'm glad you didn't go to the bing. You wouldn't have survived.
I would have survived.
You think you would have?
My daddy raised most of me.
Wow.
See, you judge by what you think you know.
Hey, I'm just saying, everybody can't survive. There's a miracle of surviving in prison. You know that?
So what's your miracle?
That I moved to Roanoke. That is the biggest miracle of all. Because Richmond didn't claim my life. I'm telling you, man. Life is... go ahead.
No, because, you say you moved to, Roanoke, and that was your miracle. But I heard, we had an NA meeting with our adolescents, and they brought them in. And one thing one of the girls said was she moved here, from New York, and she said that so many people move to different places to get away from the drugs, but they're like, you can get drugs anywhere.
Man, I hate that. I hate when I hear that because of course you can if you go looking for it.
Right.
But when you live in a city where you know everybody, southeast, northwest, that you can get it anywhere, and every time you see somebody, they're asking you questions about it or giving you some to sell or whatever. It's hard to get clean and get live the right life. So when I moved here, I can leave the house and go to Walmart and not running into anybody that's from my past about the drug thing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because if I'm clean, they want me to sell, and if I'm using, they want to sell it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't worry about that no more. I go anywhere I want to freely and not worry about like running into people I know. And normally people move because they have to. They get chased or ran out of their city.
Yeah.
I came. I didn't come to Roanoke willingly because I thought I was going to Roanoke Rapids, Virginia, but ended up here
Mm-hmm.
because when I got in the car and I said, they're taking me to treatment, I thought it was in Roanoke Rapids, but it was here. So I got a treatment state. So that's another miracle.
So, do you think sometimes people take miracles for granted?
All the time. I think we play with miracles and we don't believe in the miracles when we see them
Mm.
because you can say you believe in a miracle, but you don't believe in the person sitting beside you.
What you think? Like they believe in coincidence, not miracles, or do you think they're the same?
No, I don't think a coincidence is a miracle. I think a coincidence is just what it is, a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
But a miracle is like when you hear a bullet go past your head and it don't hit you.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes between you and your best friend, in between you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're shooting at another one of your friends. So the bullet was meant for another one of our friends. He was running from a dude. He was shooting at him, and the bullets came between me and my other friends. He was running towards us, and none of us got hit. That's a miracle,
Yeah.
you know. And I was like 16 when it happened. So suppose it would have hit me, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah.
That's just one of the things that's happened in my life.
So, how do you process when miracles happens to you? Because sometimes, like I see people they have miracles and happen to them, and they go on Facebook and boast about it. And some stuff, like at that moment, I feel like you have to process and allow yourself to really understand what happens, or they go into XYZ instead of like being present in it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if I know it's a miracle in the works of happening or happen, I just process it in I think my high power, for whatever, and I try not to take it for granted. I try to accept it for what it is. A lot of times in the past, I would take credit for the miracle that happened, and it wasn't me at all. The story. I'm in Whipping Court. I'm walking down the sidewalk between two apartments. I hear these gunshots. I mean, lots of them. And all of a sudden, I see like five little youngins running towards me. They look at me. They say, "Oh, don't go that way,"
Mm-hmm.
and they just keep going. I've seen all their faces. They could have killed me,
Mm-hmm.
but that was a miracle.
Yeah.
I try not to question them, but some days it's like, what do you want me to do?
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously you kept me here for 50 years to do something,
Yeah.
and sometimes it just makes you just want to cry because I don't want to disappoint him anymore,
Yeah.
And I know I'm a miracle,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad to be here, man. I don't mean to call you man, that's how I talk,
Mm.
because I'm a good old country boy. You feel me? That's how we talk in the country.
That
So,
is not
uh,
how you talk.
it is. But back to your question, when I accept it, I accept it. I don't try to figure it out.
But do you accept it and try your hand again, or like is it gonna is I'm gonna be saved this time, or
The old me 3 years ago did, yeah, because I did a lot of things over and over again that could have ended a bad result, but it never happened. Thank God, But me now and the way I live now, I can see the miracle.
Mhm.
Like I can actually see when a miracle happens because I live such an ordinary life now that a miracle stands out. Like something good, like boom, is amplified. Like just becoming a peer was a miracle. Finishing 3 treatments was a miracle. Um, Man, the list goes on. Me gaining a relationship with my family again. That was a miracle all in itself.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
because
I know for a lot of people that are in recovery, that's the hardest part of. I have a member who said that they got to meet, link up with their family, and I was shocked because I hadn't heard them talk about family, and usually that's the question I ask. So I'm going back through my notes, and I was like, I asked you about family, and they said they didn't mention it because their family didn't talk to them.
yeah, but see, my thing was it wasn't my family, it was me.
Mhm.
I pushed them away so they wouldn't be caught up in my drama.
Mhm.
But for some reason they always like a week or so go by and they'll come find me,
Mhm.
and just to make sure I'm all right, because I turn the phone off, throw that out the window, I'm off to the races.
Mhm.
But the miracle is like I can call my sister, my mom, my nephews, nieces, or whatever, and they can pick up.
Mhm.
And it is not like picking up out of being afraid. They're picking up out of just, I guess, wanting to hear my voice. You
Yeah.
know, that's a miracle.
And you far away too from them, so.
Yeah, but they tell me every time I even think, like not think about, but speak about, later on moving closer. It was like, no, you're good where you at,
Mhm.
and that's good to know because I know I'm in the right place that they're telling me I am.
Mhm.
Because normally they want me close,
Yeah.
but now since they see me thriving and living a better life, they don't want anything to come in between me and my goals.
Mhm.
So, if anybody knows me, knows like I always got to some money, regardless of how I got to it, right? But it was always consequences. It was always a chance that I would either get killed or go to prison.
Mhm.
And today it's not about getting to the money, it's about getting to the peace of mind. Like that's the miracle. I have a peace of mind today. I can wake up refreshed. If work don't kill me the night before. I normally wake up groggy or in a bad mood, not because of what's going on, just because that's what it is.
Mhm.
But the miracle is I can wake up and I don't gotta go outside and get some heroin to make me feel better.
Mhm.
I don't gotta take a shot of heroin to eat breakfast or do chores or whatever. I don't gotta do anything to maintain. The miracle is going to the doctor, getting a physical. You
Yeah.
know,
The things people take for granted is like being alive, being able to breathe. I remember having COVID and being in the hospital, and I know everybody says I had COVID, but when you had COVID the way I had COVID, and they was asking me, there's a chance you might code. Who do we call? Who do you call? I was like,
Jesus.
I said, my mom, I said, no, don't call her. I said, because she go freak out. I said, call my aunt. She's a nurse. But like, I didn't understand how much breathing can take a toll on your body. Like just sitting up in a chair, breathing or making sure I could breathe. And then like hearing those alarms go off because I was sitting up too long and my oxygen and dropping. It was like, what in the world?
Without the oxygen, you're a goner.
Yeah.
Because when you breathe in air, you're actually breathing in conscious. Because if you stop breathing, the first thing you lose is consciousness.
Yeah.
So without the air and the oxygen to your brain, it's a wrap. I'm glad you made it. But you see how they dropped a jewel on you just that quick.
Oh
I
wow!
just get paid for driving these Johns.
Talk about getting paid for him dropping these junks. Maybe you should start doing motivational speaking to get paid for it.
Yeah, I mean, I want to. I will. If it lines up with what I got going. I really ain't got a whole lot going on. I got enough to keep you busy. But hey, it's going to be springtime. I ain't gonna be in nobody's house or building nowhere during the daytime. I'm gonna be out making content, taking pictures,
and eating ice cream.
eating. I gotta go on a diet, eating ice cream. It's gonna be lit, as the young people say. It's gonna be lit.
To our followers and listeners, he ain't gonna be outside. He's scared of them no-see-ums. He ain't gonna be outside, y'all.
And look, if you ever haven't got bit by a no-see-um, it's a real thing. It's an invisible mosquito. Look it up. It's called no-see-um. It's like
He
an
ain't
insect
gonna
that
be
bites you. You can't
outside.
see it. I told her about it about 2 years ago, and when she got bit by him, she called me up like, Eric, you're right. I got
He
bit
ain't
by the
gonna be
no-see-um.
outside. And I promise you, if you do see him outside, he in a full sweatsuit. He ain't getting high, y'all. He just scared of them no-see-ums.
Oh, that's crazy work right there.
I'm just telling y'all. I promise you, he good. You can piss test him. He ain't gonna come hot.
Just look crazy.
He just gonna look crazy.
Yeah,
And that's okay.
hey, that's a miracle.
That's a miracle.
Yeah, looking crazy and being crazy, two different things.
You just listened to our Truth Shop podcast. Do you believe in miracles? Powered by Destiny's by Choice Support Services. Today's conversation reminds you of anything, let it be this. Miracles don't always show up with flashing lights and big announcements. Sometimes miracles look like survival. Sometimes they look like growth. Sometimes they look like waking up one more day with another chance to do life differently. You may not have realized it at the time, but many of the moments that shaped you were miracles in disguise. And if you're still here, still pushing forward, still trying to become better than who you were yesterday, that itself is a miracle. And remember, your destiny is by choice, not by chance. And please, until next time, keep walking in your truth. Bye.